498. F. Astrological. S. D. II. 343. G. Geometrical. S. D. II. 494. III. 176. H. Mystical. S. D. I. 401. I. Symbolical. S. D. I. 561. J. Numerical. S. D. I. 198. 5. Each key must be turned 7 times. S. D. I. 22. 6. The Jews availed themselves of 2 keys out of the 7. 7. The metaphysical key is available. S. D. I. 338. Compare III. 198.47, 49-48. We have considered the reception and distribution of pranic emanations in man, the planet, and the system, and have seen what produces temporary disorders, and the devitalization or the overvitalization of the organic form. Now we can look at the subject from a third angle and therefore study c. Microcosmic static disorders, or a consideration of the etheric body in connection with its work of providing a ring pass not from the purely physical to the astral. As has been said, both here and in the books of HPB, the ring pass not 50 ring pass not. The circumference of the sphere of influence of any center of positive life. This includes the fire sphere of magnetic work of the solar orb, viewing it as the body of manifestation of the solar logos and inclusive of an entire solar system. This term is also applied to the sphere of activity of a planetary logos, or to a planetary scheme, and could equally well be applied to the sphere of activity of the human ego. S. D. I. 346.48 is that confining barrier which acts as a separator, or a division between the system, and that which is external to that system. This, as may well be seen, has its interesting correlations, when the subject is viewed, as we must consistently endeavor to view it, from the point of view of a human being, a planet and a system, remembering always that in dealing with the etheric body we are dealing with physical matter. This must ever be borne carefully in mind. Therefore, one paramount factor will be found in all groups and formations, and this is the fact that the ring pass not acts only as a hindrance to that which is of small attainment in evolution, but forms no barrier to the more progressed. The whole question depends upon 2 things, which are the karma of the man, the planetary logos, and the solar logos, and the dominance of the spiritual indwelling entity over its vehicle. IV macrocosmic and microcosmic ethers 1. The planetary logos and the ethers man, the indwelling thinker, passes at night from out of his etheric ring pass not and functions elsewhere. Therefore, under the law, the planetary logos likewise can pass his ring pass not as stated. Seasons which correspond in the planet to the hours of man's temporary repose, or pralaya. The solar logos likewise does the same during stated cycles, which are not the cycles succeeding those which we term solar pralaya, but lesser cycles succeeding the days of Brahma or periods of lesser activity, periodically viewed. All these are governed by karma, and just as the true man himself applies the law of karma to his vehicles, and in his tiny system is the correspondence to that 4th group of karmic entities whom we call the lipical lords. He applies the law to his threefold lower nature. The 4th group of extra-cosmic entities who have their place subsidiary to the 3 cosmic logoi who are the threefold sum total of the logoic nature, can pass the bounds of the solar ring pass not in their stated cycles. This is a profound mystery, and its complexity is increased by the recollection that the 4th creative hierarchy of human monads, and the lipical lords in their 3 groups, the 1st group, the 2nd, and the 4 Maharajas, making the totality of the threefold karmic rulers who stand between the solar logos and the seven planetary logoi, are more closely allied than the other hierarchies. And their destinies are intimately interwoven. A further link in this chain which is offered for consideration lies in the fact that the four rays of mind, which concern the karma of the four planetary logoi, in their totality hold in their keeping the present evolutionary process for man, viewing him as the thinker. These four, with the karmic four, work in the closest cooperation. Therefore, we have the following groups interacting. First, the four Maharajas, the lesser Lipika lords, 5149 who apply past karma and work it out in the present. Second, the four Lipikas of the second group, referred to by HPB, as occupied in applying future karma, and wielding the future destiny of the races. The work of the first group of four cosmic Lipika lords, is occult and is only revealed somewhat at the fourth initiation, and even then but slightly, so it will not be touched upon here. Third, the fourth creative hierarchy of human monads, held by a fourfold karmic law under the guidance of the Lipikas. Fourth, the four planetary logoi 5250 of harmony, knowledge, abstract thought and ceremonial, who are in their totality the quaternary of manas while in process of evolution, and who pass under their influence all the sons of men. Fifth, the Deva lords of the four planes of buddhi, or the plane of spiritual intuition, manas, or the mental plane, desire, and the physical, who are likewise allied to the human evolution in a closer sense than the higher three. A further interesting correspondence is found in the following facts, that are even now in process of development. The fourth plane of buddhi is the one on which the planetary logoi begin to make their escape from their planetary ring pass knot, or from the etheric web that has its counterpart on all the planes. When man begins in a small sense to coordinate the buddhic vehicle or, to express it otherwise, when he has developed the power, to contact ever so slightly the buddhic plane, then he begins simultaneously and consciously to achieve the ability to escape from the etheric web on the physical plane. Later he escapes from its correspondence on the astral plane, and finally from the correspondence on the fourth subplane of the mental plane, this time via the mental unit. This leads eventually to causal functioning, or to the ability to dwell, and to be active in, the vehicle of the ego, who is the embodiment of the love and wisdom aspect of the monad. Note here the correspondence to that proved fact, that many can even now escape from the etheric body, and function in their astral sheath, which is the personality reflection of that same second aspect. When a man takes the fourth initiation, he functions in the fourth plane vehicle, the buddhic, and has escaped permanently from the personality ring pass knot, on the fourth subplane of the mental. There is not to hold him to the three worlds. At the first initiation he escapes from the ring pass knot in a more temporary sense, but he has yet to escape from the three higher mental levels, which are the mental correspondences to the higher ethers, and to develop full consciousness on these three higher subplanes. We have here a correspondence to the work, to be done by the initiate after he has achieved the fourth solar plane, the buddhic. There yet remains the development of full consciousness on the three higher planes of spirit before he can escape from the solar ring pass knot, which is achieved at the seventh initiation, taken somewhere in the system, or in its cosmic correspondence reached by the cosmic sutratma, or cosmic thread of life 5351. This fourth earth chain is in this connection one of the most important. For it is the appointed place for the domination of the etheric body by the human monad. With the aim in view of, both human and planetary escape from limitations. This earth chain, though not one of the seven sacred planetary chains, is of vital importance at this time to the planetary logos, who temporarily employs it as a medium of incarnation, and of expression. This fourth round finds the solution of its strenuous and chaotic life in the very simple fact of the shattering of the etheric web in order to effect liberation, and permit a later and more adequate form to be employed. A further chain of ideas may be followed up in the remembrance that the fourth ether is even now being studied and developed by the average scientist, and is already somewhat harnessed to the service of man. That the fourth subplane of the astral plane is the normal functioning ground of the average man, and that in this round escape from the etheric vehicle is being achieved. That the fourth subplane of the mental plane is the present goal of endeavor of 1/4 of the human family. That the fourth Manvantara will see the solar ring pass not offering avenues of escape to those who have reached the necessary point. That the four planetary logoi will perfect their escape from their planetary environment, and will function with greater ease on the cosmic astral plane, paralleling on cosmic levels the achievement of the human units who are the cells in their bodies. Our solar logos, being a logos of the fourth order, will begin to coordinate his cosmic Buddhic body, and as he develops cosmic mind he will gradually achieve, by the aid of that mind, the ability to touch the cosmic Buddhic plane. These possibilities and correspondences have been somewhat dwelt upon, as it is necessary for us to realize the work to be done in connection with the etheric web before we take up the matter of the various causes which may hinder the desired progress, and prevent the appointed escape and destined liberation. Later we will take up the consideration of the etheric web, and its static condition. This will entail the recollection of two things. First, that this static condition is only so when viewed from the standpoint of man at the present time, and is only termed so in order to make plainer the changes that must be effected and the dangers that must be offset. Evolution moves so slowly from man's point of view that it seems to be almost stationary, especially where etheric evolution is concerned. Second, that we are only concerning ourselves with the physical etheric body, and not with its correspondences on all planes. This is because our system is on the cosmic etheric levels, and hence is of prime importance to us. 2. Cosmic and systemic ethers for the sake of those who read this treatise, and because the sequential repetition of fact makes for clarity, let us here briefly tabulate certain fundamental hypotheses that have a definite bearing upon the matter in hand, and which may serve to clear up the present existing confusion concerning the matter of the solar system. Some of the facts stated are already well known, others are inferential, while some are the expression of old and true correspondences couched in a more modern form. A. The lowest cosmic plane is the cosmic physical, and it is the only one which the finite mind of man can in any way comprehend. B. This cosmic physical plane exists in matter differentiated into 7 qualities, groups, grades, or vibrations. C. These 7 differentiations are the 7 major planes of our solar system. For purposes of clarity, we might here tabulate under the headings physical, systemic, and cosmic, so that the relationship and the correspondences may be apparent, and the connection to that which is above, and to that which is below, or included, may be plainly seen. Chart II, the 7 planes of our solar system: the planes physical plane, systemic planes, cosmic planes. 1. Atomic plane, divine. Adi.